We're going to go round 2. All right. Welcome, everybody. I'm going to give this a second for a few people to tune in again. We're having some technical issues. It would appear that the accounts were hacked because they were in 4 different areas, 4 different platforms, and they all shut down within a matter of, I want to say 2 minutes. So I'm going to have someone get on it, okay, to figure out what the heck happened to my accounts. Right, looks good. We have Joanne, we have Josie. Okay, so a few people tuning back in here. Again, we're just going to pick up right where we left off. So you guys are posting your questions about your curious experiences, and I will tell you whether it's psychic, mediumistic, or empathic ability that you have going on. Again, if you guys want a longer version, a longer explanation about your intuitive intelligence, you can go onto my website, IvyRiveraPsychicMedium.com, and you can book an intuitive ability assessment. This is also a great gift to give to someone else who's maybe struggling. They don't know if they have abilities, or they know they do, but they don't have confidence. All right. A lot of questions floating around out there. What am I? Does everybody have this? All right. So we have a couple coming in. This is not, just wanted to explain that this is not my Ask Ivy show. This is, are you a psychic, a medium, or an empath? And we dropped connection on our other 4 platforms a minute ago. We were halfway into this class, and so we've had to restart. So for those of you tuning in now, if you weren't with us before, what you're going to be doing is posting any questions you have about your intuitive intelligence or different experiences that you've had where you don't know what is going on. And I'm going to tell you what category it falls into. Angie, yes, welcome back. Juanita, hello. Josie, Joanne, welcome back, everybody. We're going to have to figure out what happened. Yep. In the meantime, go ahead and post, and Mary, whenever you have, you can go ahead and pop something up. You guys, okay, that's a good one. You guys, if you're tuning in for the first time tonight, this is, are you a psychic, a medium, or an empath? Please give this video a thumbs up, subscribe, donations are appreciated, and drop a comment of any variety because it helps me out in the algorithm. So we have a question here from Juanita Vasquez. Why do I laugh or cry in my sleep? So that isn't necessarily connected to your mediumistic ability. It could be if you're having an actual visit dream, if you're having a visit that's an intense encounter with either your spirit guides, your ancestors, a deceased loved one. It can happen in the dream state, but it can also happen through astral travel. And so we go to other dimensions and we spend real time with different spirits. That can be a very intense experience. That can cause for eye drainage without emotion or actual crying. And the old timers used to say that anytime you had the eye drainage or you would cry, it was a sign of divinity. It was an authentic experience that you had, sort of like getting goosebumps, okay, where that signifies truth being revealed, or a divine connectivity that you have to the other side, you know, your ultimate purpose, something like this. But it can also really just be psychic. So when you're dreaming, you can have a lot of vision dreams, prophecy. You can have dreams that feel as though they are in real time, or they are actually in real time. And so having extreme emotional reactions, whether it be laughter or it be crying or it be tremendous fear or a huge breakthrough, something revolutionary happening, this could be more connected to your clairvoyance, which is your psychic ability, and those could be prophetic or vision dreams. All right, we have another question coming in here. Angie Johnson says, here's a weird one. My sister talks about you often. Me? Tonight I randomly thought I need to look you up. Me. Okay. Your live was about to air, and this sort of thing happens often. Okay. So what she's referring to is what appears to be someone hacking into my system and shut down all 4 of my accounts because they were from different platforms. Okay. So yeah, I guess one of the things that you may be experiencing, Angie, is that, when you are on the right path, additional blocks and obstacles come in your way than there were before. It's the same for all of us. There's a free mini class here on my YouTube channel at Ask Ivy called Fighting the Dark, Part 1 and Part 2, where I talk about every new level, there's a new devil. And every time you're about to level up in some significant way, all of these blocks and obstacles come in to stop you, attack you, prevent you from going up, typically in 5 different areas of your life. And most of them are coming through either people or they're coming from attacks, even sadly, on your, from your inner circle and things like this. So what, we all experience is what you're talking about right here, just in different areas of our life and at different times. Sometimes maybe it's a job promotion and all of a sudden all these problems start coming in to try to make you quit, or it's something in love. You're about to reach a very intense level of intimacy with someone, and then all of a sudden maybe there are trust issues that come in and outside dynamics are causing problems for the two of you. Or it's something like this where you're about to have some spiritual evolution, some awakening, maybe your third eye, your higher mind is about to open because you finally made it here. You tuned in and all my systems shut down. Okay. So you can't get anything out of me tonight. Whatever it is, we all experience this, and this is for everybody. I would definitely check out Fighting the Dark, Part 1 and Part 2, mini classes here on my YouTube at Ask Ivy. But it is a particular type of attack that's extremely disruptive and sometimes even threatening when we are talking about your spiritual and energetic development. 100%. You're not imagining it. All right, we have another one coming in here from Joanne Sarama Gray. Throughout my life, I feel everything somewhat intuitive of things to come. I would see ghosts for a few years and then that stopped, but I still hear them. Sometimes I can be out and I'll get a feeling about someone around me. I may laugh or smile and I want to say something, but I feel self-conscious. Okay, what if I'm wrong? In the dream state, it's weird, off the wall, sometimes horrible. I have high anxiety and am thinking it's just maybe that. Okay. So a couple different things. When you feel as though you are out and about and you want to deliver messages to somebody else, I think it's a safe place for you to have some reservation or anxiety about that, because we aren't all Long Island medium. And the reality is she's got editors, she's getting paid, and people already recognize her. So there's a certain level of openness that comes when she partakes in something like that. But if you ever listen to interviews with her behind the scenes, she'll say, not everybody is a great recipient. Okay. Not everybody wants to receive a message. This is also a personal boundary issue. So what I tell my students is that they are not to be going up to people willy-nilly and delivering out messages that could stir a lot of trauma for them potentially, could become, hard for them, debilitating, even emotionally, mentally, physically, to hear. And we need to respect other people's boundaries, meaning we do not give unsolicited advice at any point. If you have a message to deliver to someone, you should give them a business card and you should say, feel free to book with me or reach out to me at any time for me to give you this message. Do you have to charge them? Not necessarily, but it should be appropriate for both people involved. So sometimes the anxiety you feel with that is a red flag, a warning that you shouldn't be going up to strangers and, almost like spiritually pontificating all over them when you weren't invited to do so. I'm not a big fan. Have I done it? Yes. Have I had to do it? Yes. Do I regret it? No. Was it horrible? Yeah, usually, and so if you must, then do it. If you can avoid it and do it in a more appropriate manner, then do that. Okay. Some of the stuff we're feeling so intensely for other people is not necessarily something that you have to deliver out to them. When you are a higher level empath, you feel the emotions of other people involuntarily. You can accidentally overabsorb their thoughts, even their physical ailments. And it does not, even though it feels intense to you, necessarily mean that that's a message that needs to get delivered to them. So learn the difference between your mediumistic ability and your empathic ability, and that'll help you to decipher when you should and when you should not. All right, we have another one coming in here from a Josie Surreal. I attract animals, children, older people, and I also have prophetic dreams. Also, when I close my eyes, I see colors in my third eye area. What does this mean? So when we're talking about feeling colors, seeing auras, or even in someone's chakra alignment, like say you're a Reiki practitioner, you do energy work, you may see in the middle of the person other colors. We are talking about empathic ability. When you're talking about animals being drawn to you, children, that's also empathic ability. When you're talking about the elderly, this could be two different things. So first of all, elderly people tend to have ailments. They may be in pain. Cats are playing with their toys. That's exactly where we want them. So let's just tune out the noise. We don't want them on the cameras. So when we're talking about elderly people, we could very well be talking about empathic ability because they are in pain or discomfort, or energetically, you as someone younger and healthier may read it as a need for healing. Okay. You may be getting empathically drained by them as well. Okay. Anything who needs healing energy will come around you, will gravitate toward you. But with elderly people, if they're playing both sides of the fence, I have a class on the website called Death Coaching, where I teach you sort of like hospice a little bit, okay? How it is that people in states of coma, dementia, Alzheimer's, old age, how it is that they communicate with the spirit world almost as much as they are here on the earth plane, sometimes even more so. They're in the spirit world. And what can happen there is that they're very mediumistic in those moments, and it can sort of protrude, it can radiate outward, and you may be picking up on that from a state of mediumship. So I would look at both abilities for yourself. And I would also pay attention to the fact that animals come around. I always say there's a triad, right? We have angels. Those are the healing entities of the universe, often mistaken for aliens because they look in real life exactly like aliens. So we have angels at the top, and then under them, we have empaths and animals. So it's like this triad of healing entities in the universe that work together. Now, animals that are drawn to you are actually coming to you more often than not to relieve any stress, tension that you may have, and to revitalize you, to re-energize and put healing back okay, where it needs to be. So it may not be that they need you as much as you need them. So pay attention to where you are with your levels of energy when the animals come in. Interesting. All right, we have another one coming in here from a Kamara Grigori. I constantly have ringing in my ears, both left and right, more the left, and different tones. Is it possible to understand these messages? 100%. So in the Psychic Mediumship course, one of the things that we focus on quite a lot is clairaudient ability. Why? Because everybody wants it. Everybody who comes in for my course wants clairaudience. And clairaudience comes with certain physical reactions. So we're talking about anxiety attacks, random bouts of perfusive sweating, and ringing in the ears, most typically. So the left ear ringing is mediumship. The right ear ringing is psychic ability, your higher mind, or maybe a warning coming in. It depends on the situation. And what we want to be able to do is to decipher, which ear is ringing when and what the message is that we're supposed to be receiving. If it is your left ear and it's mediumship, you need to learn the language of mediumship. So, I hope to see you at class. If it's the right ear, it's your psychic ability, you've got a much greater shot at just tuning in, because that does not involve an outside source. It does not involve a spirit at all. It's literally just you. You just need to tune into your higher mind, and you need to ask, what am I telling myself? Why is this warning or this psychic message coming in for me? What does it mean? And if you learn to quiet yourself, if you are disciplined in taking the 2 to 5 minutes, that it requires to sit with it, even if you have to do it later, okay? If you're in the middle of work or something, you're in the middle of the mall, you're dealing with your kids, whatever, you can't do it right then, that's fine. But later, you need to go back to it relatively quickly, okay? And say, what was the message there? You're going to be able to receive it. The more you do it, the better you get, the faster you get, the more accurate and the deeper, okay, the meaning and depth will be. So practice makes perfect. All right, we have another one coming in here from an Amanda Yanes. I've had dreams where it happened a week later, or sometimes even the next day. All right, so what are we talking about with you? We are talking about prophecy. You are having prophetic dreams, aka vision dreams. This is your clairvoyance at its best. Clairvoyant ability is the ability to accurately predict the past, the present, and the future without having any previous information. And I always say to my students, you are peaking with this ability when you are having consistent prophetic dreams that happen. You can prove the accuracy to your prophecy. And that's where you reach a point of spillover, where you will now have to prepare to have these visions while you're awake. And they're going to come in often harder, faster, with more depth and accuracy. They can also, soon after that point, turn into something that's more like a trance-like state. You are going to want to pay very close attention to where you are in the scheme of all of this. Okay, because it can be a little bit disruptive or a little bit shocking. I think where you are right now, it's just really fascinating. It's exciting. And I think what's to come is going to be incredibly useful for you and others around you. All right, we have another one coming in here from Chels. Why do I keep having the same dream about the same thing? What does it mean? Well, I would have to look at it. So you can always submit a dream analysis question on my website. I do those through email, okay? Or an intuitive ability assessment for those of you tuning into this class tonight. But when you have the same dream over and over again, it typically means that you have some unresolved mental and emotional issue that may be causing stunted growth and development. It's pretty rare that you would have a vision, a prophecy over and over and over and over again, unless you are not listening to the direction that's being given. Great example of this on a personal note was 9/11 for me. I was having visions of 9/11 for about 6 months before I finally got to the breaking point where I told my ex, who worked in the towers at the time, I told him, we've got to transfer out of New York. We can't be here anymore. You have to go to your boss and get a transfer out. We made it out with 9 days to spare, and no one lived off of either floor that he worked on. Horrible thing. It got increasingly worse for me. It started in dreams, and then it would be visions during the day until I was in full on trance states, and it was happening constantly. So, in a situation like that where there's an extreme warning and it's a situation that can be avoided, I talk on here, quite a bit about death points. Death points are highly negotiable to a point. Eventually you're going to kick it, but most death points are highly negotiable. So if it's something like that, it can play on repeat until you get the message right and you do something about it. And if it is a subconscious issue, if it's some kind of shadow work that needs to be done, or maybe you need to go to therapy, this would look more like running, being chased, approaching many doors, going down hallways, revisiting an old house where something traumatic happened, like a monster coming after you, something like that. I mean, this is a sign that it may be a good time to talk to a therapist, or to really sit with yourself, and to also call in your guides and say, show me what this dream is about. In my class, Dreams, up on the website, I talk to you about lucid dreaming techniques that can help you to confront it while you're in the act and get past it once and for all, if that's what's going on. All right, we're going to move on to another one. Thank you so much. All right, very good. So Mary popped Dreams class up on the screen there. Yes, Ivy League Psychic Academy.com/classes. All right. And do we have any more coming up? I just wanted to say, I see a bunch of stuff popping up. Okay, very good. I just wanted to reiterate that for those of you who were tuning in the first time we launched this class tonight, you can go back and watch the first half. If you were on TikTok and you saw my account get hacked, or here on YouTube and you saw everything shut down, they did bump me on TikTok. I actually got suspended. So, they're just harassing me again. If you had questions that were posted on there, it's very possible we did get to them the first half. So this class tonight is broken up into 2 parts. Thanks everyone for tuning in. I did the best that I could. I hope to see you for the Psychic Mediumship course. Again, you go to psychicmediumshipcourse.com. We start on January, I believe it's the 23rd. And we now have weekly payment options due to the recession. And if you haven't already gotten your raffle tickets, you can win a 100% free course, $2,100 value. Get your raffle tickets now. That drawing will be on the 22nd, the day before class starts. If you guys want to book an intuitive ability assessment with me and find out what abilities you have, go to IvyRiveraPsychicMedium.com and click that intuitive ability assessment button, and I will send you a voice recording. Thank you so much, Mary. Thanks everyone for tuning in and being patient. We'll see you guys next time.